Ayebo, Ayeba, somebody call the pastor, Part 2. Okrika woke to whispers of unease, though few dared speak them aloud. Okonkwo's disappearance was only the beginning. Over the next week, 2 more men vanished. Ebele, a jovial trader with a laugh like a drum roll, and Ugo, a quiet farmer who'd just welcomed his first son. Their families searched the riverbanks, their cries echoing through the town, but all they found were empty boats rocking gently on the water, each with a single wet footprint drying in the sun. The townsfolk clung to Pastor Ease's assurances. The Lord works in mysterious ways, he preached, his voice faltering. Perhaps they've been called to a higher purpose. But Chike saw the cracks in the lie. The church was thriving, too thriving. Every service, Nkiru stood at the pulpit, her voice weaving worship that left the congregation swaying, tears streaming down their faces. Men, especially, pressed closer, their eyes locked on her as if she were the sun itself. She'd smile, her teeth glinting like pearls, and sing until the air thickened with reverence. Yet, after each service, a few never returned home. The women whispered of strange dreams, husbands muttering Nkiru's name in their sleep, their feet twitching as if walking toward the river. Chike kept his distance, watching from the back pews, his hands busy with needle and thread as he mended choir robes. He'd taken the job to stay close, to study her. Nkiru was a puzzle, her beauty flawless, her movements graceful, yet her presence felt like a storm brewing just out of sight. Pastor Ease doted on her, calling her God's vessel. But Chike saw how the pastor's hands shook when she sang, how his sermons grew shorter, as if her voice drained his resolve. One evening, as dusk painted the sky crimson, Chike lingered at the church to finish his work. The congregation had left, their voices fading into the night, leaving only the hum of crickets and the river's murmur. He was alone, or so he thought. A shadow moved near the altar, and Nkiru stepped into the candlelight. Her eyes found his, pinning him where he sat, and she began to sing. "Chike," she crooned, her voice curling around his name like smoke. "Join me in worship beneath the waves. You'll know eternal joy, a peace no land can give." The song was personal now, tailored to him, its notes sinking into his chest like hooks. His vision blurred, and suddenly he saw it. A palace of coral and pearl beneath the river, its halls alive with light and laughter. Nkiru stood there, radiant, beckoning him with open arms. His legs moved of their own accord, the needle slipping from his fingers, his breath hitching with longing. But then the vision shifted. The light dimmed, and skeletal hands burst from the palace floor. Okonkwo's, Ebele's, Ugo's, reaching for him, their hollow eyes pleading. Chike stumbled, his hand brushing the rosary in his pocket, a gift from his mother before she'd passed. "Jesus, save me," he whispered, the prayer snapping the spell.
The vision shattered, and Nkiru's song faltered, her smile tightening into something feral. "You resist me," she said, her voice low and edged with surprise. "Why?" "Because I see you," Chike replied, his heart pounding. "You're no angel, you're Mami Wata." She laughed, a sound like breaking glass, and stepped closer. "Call me what you will. I am Nkiru, and I bring glory to myself. Join me or watch your town crumble." Before he could answer, she vanished, leaving only a puddle where she'd stood, the air heavy with her threat. Chike ran to Pastor Ease's home, pounding on the door until the old man appeared, bleary-eyed and clad in a faded robe. "She's a demon," Chike shouted, recounting the encounter. "She's taking our men, luring them to the river." Pastor Ease sank into a chair, his face crumpling. "I thought she was heaven sent," he admitted, his voice breaking. "I heard her voice during that storm, so pure, so holy. I cast the net, thinking it was God's will. But now I've brought a curse on us." Chike knelt beside him, gripping his shoulder. "It's not too late. My mother taught me, worship comes before praise. It weakens evil spirits, breaks their hold. We can fight her." The pastor's eyes lit with hope, then darkened with doubt. "She's stronger now, feeding on their souls. What if we fail?" "Then we die trying," Chike said, his jaw set. "But we won't. Tomorrow we sing." That night, as Chike lay in bed, Nkiru's voice crept through his window again, louder, angrier. It wasn't just her now. He heard Okonkwo's deep timbre, Ebele's bright tenor, Ugo's soft murmur, all twisted into her song. "Chike, come to us," they called, their voices a chorus of the damned. He clutched his rosary, praying until dawn, the realization sinking in. She wasn't just taking men, she was building an army of souls. And he was next. Anticipation. Can Chike and Pastor Easy outsing Nkiru's deadly chorus? What happens when her full power is unleashed? And who or what is she truly serving? Moral lesson. Desire can blind you to destruction. Hold fast to faith when temptation calls.